Hello, Dan.
Hi.
Stephen Dimas, Syracuse, New York. Excuse my attire. Bag got lost. What are your thoughts on the CBD, hemp, and marijuana markets in the United States, with CBD being medical for medical use, and with hemp being used in housing, building and development now?
I don't understand. So what's the question about weed and CBD?
What's your thoughts on rolling up a business that would be, related to like the CBD market, the hemp market for production, industrialized? Or
What do I see the future as?
Yes.
Well, I mean, eventually it'll be legalized by the federal government. Currently it's not. It's state by state, as I understand it, in 15, 20 states, I guess. But the real market, and the market that we looked at, is the international market. There's 35 or 40 countries that allow it, and that's where the big business is going to be done. And the big public companies, the people that raised the money before the recent collapse of weed, are investing internationally. They're going to South America. Some are going in parts of the EU. So I think it's inevitable that it's going to eventually work out. But I don't know if it's a year from now or 5 years from now. And until the federal government approves it, in the United States, I'm only speaking of the United States, I don't know about the rest of the places, until they approve it, it's a cash business, it's tough to get credit. I won't say it's impossible to get credit, but it's tough to get credit. There's a few banks that will fund startups if you're in business, either as a grower, distributor, whatever. And you have a track record of some sort. Over and above the track record of your dream team, you can get commercial money. But it's tough. You have to wait until the federal government in the United States approves it. And I don't know when that's going to be. Right? Trump is against drugs. His brother died, was an alcoholic, etc. And so right now, but he may approve it. Rumor. And it's only a rumor. Rumor is that it's one of the things that, additional things he's going to approve next term when he gets reelected.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, sir. Jorge Fernandez, Calexico, California, 34 years old. Is there a preferred bank that one should use when doing acquisitions and financing for the healthcare industry and assisted living units?
Is there a preferred bank?
Yes, sir.
No, it's just whatever bank manager or credit officer has no negative loans that have gone sour on him, and it's piecemeal. It's piecemeal. There's no preferred bank.
There's no niche bank specifically for that industry?
No, not that I'm aware of, no.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
My name is Wouter Permer, 42 years old, from Amsterdam, and my question is about assisted living healthcare. In the Dutch market, it's predominantly non-profit organizations. How does vendor finance work within?
It still works, but you have to find a motivated seller. It doesn't matter if it's nationalized. I mean, vendor notes or work when the seller's willing to take back the note. Normally, you don't ask them. Part of the pitch is supposed to be, and again, it's online. Have you considered selling your business? Yes. Have you considered seller finance? Sometimes they don't know what that means. Seller finance. I mean, you take back part of the paper, all the paper. I started at 100% seller finance and worked down. And once in a while, we get 100% seller finance, meaning that you don't have to put up a fucking nickel, not one penny, we have kids rolling up all through the EU. The Eastern Bloc countries are harder because they're the former Eastern Bloc countries. They're harder because the Lithuania, Estonia, Ukraine are skeptical because they still have the stigma of skepticism about capitalism from the Iron Curtain days. But they will take back a seller's note. We have guys rolling up his first 7 or 8 acquisitions in the Netherlands were all seller finance. And when he went to finance them at ING Bank, if I remember correctly, the bank gave him 120% of the total purchase price. But this guy wasn't living on fumes. He wasn't starving to death so he could do 7 or 8 acquisitions. And by the way, the QLA model is really simplified project management. That's what it is. For those of you that haven't, I had no experience in project management, I still don't. But for the guys that have come through, the gals that have come through, that have come out of the project management world, it's easier for them because you have a sales funnel, you have a prospect funnel, and you have these funnels, and you just keep working the funnels until, I remember the same kid I'm thinking of, there were 17 possible candidates for him to buy in the Netherlands. And he just went one by one. I think he got to 40 or 45 until he found a motivated seller. Now, all those people that are potentials aren't going to be motivated sellers. And just because they say they're motivated, and they want, in this example, this is 5 times EBITDA, 5 times cash flow, and they say they want 25 times cash flow, they're not motivated. Now, I used to, and I'm not recommending you do this. When you get fucking serious, Jack, give me a call. Click. Just like that. Okay?
Thank you. Yep.
You're welcome. Again, I'm not recommending you do that because you're sensitive. Yeah.
Hi, Mr.
And
Pena.
sometimes they say, fuck you, yell back. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Mr. Pena. Louis from Singapore, 26 now. Okay, so just one question I want to ask. How do you make use of scam people's money?
Skip.
Yeah, because you're mentioning about, using OPM, right? Other people's money.
Other people's money,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
How do I get it?
Yeah, so what if those people are scared, right? So,
Scared, well, if they're scared, next.
I see.
I mean, remember, you want somebody, a prospect, not a suspect. Okay. You want somebody that's more scared than you. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. You're scared of being poor, winding up poor, okay? I want you to find a potential seller that's more scared. He's more scared than you. And there are people, I know you may not believe it, but there are people that are more frightened than you. Okay? Thank you,
sir.
Hello, Mr. Pena. My name is Jonathan Renzi. I'm 24 years old and I'm from Montreal, Canada. My question to you is, should I consolidate apartment complexes in the United States, Florida specifically, or should I consolidate bedpans in Canada? Thank you.
Well, I say bedpans in Canada.
Thank you so much.
It's a no-brainer, okay.
And thank you for your service.
Yeah. And some bedpans, this is an expensive one I gave you, this example. Josh Kim, if you listen to his tape, rolling tape, in the loop, he's buying businesses at 1.5 and 2 times cash flow. 1.5 and 2 times cash flow. Yes, sir.
Hello, Dan. My name is Martin Schroeder. I'm from Sweden, and my company is called Swedish Embedded Group. If you were me at this event, how would you make the best use of your time?
Your time or my time?
If you were me on this event, attending this event,
I pay attention and ask, and you're up here asking a question, but I wouldn't mingle. This is not a networking butt-fuck deal. This is not swap bodily fluid shit. I mean, for those of you, if you could afford a cab, go home by yourself. But most of you got to share a cab. It's pathetic. You can't get, anyway, don't mingle. Porn rubs off. Just follow the steps religiously. Make it the new religion. The kids call themselves QLA bots. I mean, there's a couple of people in this room. One is a Deloitte chartered accountant who wrote in a report that I follow, what Dan says religiously. And they always say, funny enough, it always works out. I don't know why they say funny enough, but because they're skeptical. Because you've been told a lot of shit in your life. And the fact that this actually fucking works, and the fact that we created a lot of money over the past 26 and a half years. Just follow the steps when you go back, and don't mingle, don't make any friends.
point taken about mingling. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I dream that I have hair like this,
Thank you very much.
My hair used to be blonde. Now, what's left is white. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Matthew. I am from Los Angeles, but my family's Russian. and I just turned 18. So this is a question regarding the personal foundation. So I grew up in a pretty strict household and learned discipline and competence and all that. But other than Toastmasters and a club you can't afford, what other resources would you recommend to expand your personal foundation?
Improv, Toastmasters, Rotary.
Rotary.
But there's different Rotaries. There's good Rotaries and bad Rotary clubs. You don't want just a bunch of old gits to sit around and drink martinis in the afternoon, although I envy those guys. You want a young, robust club that got good action plans. By the way, when you join these clubs that you can't afford, you want to be on two committees. You want to be on the membership committee, because then you're going to see everybody that comes through the door, and you want to be on the finance committee. Not the golf tournament committee, not the Christmas, none of that crap. Those are the two committees. And you'll meet a lot of great people. Another thing is not part of this, but I used to go to places like La Quinta Country Club in Palm Springs. At that time, rent per night was $219 a night. My rent at my apartment was $210 a month. But I'd go there one night a month, and that's how I met Jack Benny. You guys are too young. Jack Benny and a bunch of people. And I used to go to expensive restaurants, and where I could only afford. I couldn't buy the expensive things on the menu. I also used to go to the airports. This is before security. And I'd see the people getting off first class Pan Am from London to Los Angeles. And I'd see how they dressed. In those days, they all were dressing with coats and hats, and they were dressed up. Nobody travels that well. Hardly anybody travels that way. I would also, either using miles, you're not going to meet anybody but a pig fucker flying coach. If that. Spend money, fly at least business class. You might meet somebody. You never, and I used to spend, and again, I'm not recommending this, although some of my mentees do it. I spent 125% of every penny I made until I was 60 years old. 6-0. I never wanted a backup plan. I pushed myself to the wall. I had it. If I made $1 million, I spent $1,250,000. If I made $10 million, I spent $12.5 million. Until I'm 60 years old. Which seems a long time ago. Some of you, most of you aren't even 60, but when I'm 60, then Sally and I decided to downsize. We sold all our property and houses. I wish we had kept a couple, but anyway, that's another story. That's the answer to your question.
All right, so
thank you.
Smell the leather in as many aspects.
Oh yeah, smell the leather. Go to the Rolls dealers. Go to, we've got a mentee in here that just bought his second McLaren. I believe in that. And don't be cheap when you tip. For nothing else, it sends bad karma. I cannot have any results directly attributed to the fact that I'm a big tipper. But I am a big tipper.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Hello, Dad. My name is Claudius Fertesi. I'm from Munich, Germany. The past 3 years since I left school, I built the world's biggest scootering YouTube channel with over 1 million subscribers. My question to you is, once you sold your companies and you exited the company, let's say you made 300 million pounds, what do you do with the money to then preserve and then grow?
I bought shit. I bought mansions. I had, in those days I had planes, 3 planes. And I'm not recommending, you can't justify a plane, you just can't. But I had 3 of them. I had a jet helicopter, can't justify that either. But I gave a lot to charity. Sally and I have always given a good portion of our wealth to charity. But you don't put it in the next deal. If that's your question, keep cash. Sally and I are in 100% cash. We don't own stocks, bonds, nothing. Cash. For when the big motherfuckers tsunami hits and bankrupts all of you, Warren Buffett, Dan and Sally Pena, Microsoft, all these companies that are sitting on hordes of cash, there's a reason for that, meatheads. When the big motherfucker comes and you all drown, cash will be king. Not Bitfuck, not gold, Not silver. That's all horse shit for losers.
What about buying cash flowing property for the long term?
No. I just answered you. You don't like the answers? Fine. Sit down. I answered you. I'm not cash flowing properties.
And I liked your answer.
Well, fine. You get one question. Next, please.